welcome to a special edition of the We the Fans Network podcast. Me and Mike are here. If you watch the podcast at least once, you already know us. Joined by super fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, recently inducted into the Ford Hall of Fans. Got to go to the Hall of Fame induction. Rick, I don't know how else to introduce you. Here he is, Rick Holman. What's going on?
The man, the legend.
No, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. It's been fun. The last couple months has just been crazy. And, it really is just starting because, obviously we're not in Canton yet. We go in that first week with the players, so in August. So we're just kind of in limbo until then.
That's awesome, dude. So my question is, well, actually, I want to ask Mike's question because if we have to refer to you a certain way, I want to do it. Me and Mike, right before you came on, were asking, do you have some sort of nickname like the Dolphin Maniac or Bear Man?
No, man, those guys, you got the Bear Man and the Dolphin Maniac, the great guys met down there, my new brothers. And no, I'm the low-key, under-the-radar guy, man. My buddies... I used to work at Children's Hospital, and they always called me Steeler Rick. So, that's all I got,
you know.
Steeler Rick.
It works.
That was it.
That works.
Yeah.
That works.
So, how did you become the guy?
Honestly, I haven't missed a Steelers home game since Heinz Field opened. So, I'm sure, you saw the story. But preseason, regular, playoffs, the 3 Super Bowls, I've gone to some away games in that time. So it's been 18 straight years of my life, and I never, ever would have imagined this happening, honestly. The Steelers found out about the story at the end of 2017 season, and they said, whoa, you got to be kidding me here. You're serious? Because I went to all the games that year, and the last game of the season, they said, hey, congratulations, you've checked in. There's like a Steeler Nation app. Okay, so you check in, and you get, they'll give you free stuff and yardage to whatever. So, it's just a click. So every game I, click the button and they said, hey, you're one of 12 people that have been to every game this year. Congratulations. And I'm like, well, it's not just this year. It's every year ever here. Yeah. They're like, whoa, are you serious? So then I went into the whole story about, what I did in college to get my seat license. And I literally sold everything I owned, my cars, clothes, eBay, shoes. Anything that wasn't nailed down, man, I was scraping change, trying to finish school and buy the license and my season tickets. And I just can't, I was 5 years in every game, then it's 10, then it's 15. I got 3 little kids, and I never missed, and they. I had pneumonia in that last game in 17, and it was about 7-ish below zero wind, and they said you can't be outside. I was sick as a dog, man, and I still went, and that's how that's how the story came about. So
that's awesome. And I think that qualifies.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely amazed by it.
I think you qualified.
I just had my first kid. I got a 7-month-old, so just dealing with him and the wife and just trying to go to work is hard enough, let alone trying to tell her, hey, you're not going to see me every Sunday for the next 4 months.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, I'm selling all your Tupperware because I got my license.
Yep. The good thing is we weren't married yet, and we're both teachers, so, I spent every, I'm home a lot, but it's, those 10 days a year, that's what I do. So
that's it. That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's how I got here.
Just a quick little story. Did you go to the playoff game against the Dolphins?
Oh yeah.
I was there. I thought Matt Moore died. That hit was unbelievable.
I said the same thing. I'm like, man, we're just hoping he gets up, and you hate to see that, but yeah, it was Matt Moore bobblehead night at the at Heinz Field because that was ugly.
So
man, that game was freezing too. It was sunny and nice, but it was cold.
Rick,
it definitely was cold.
We're 2 New Yorkers who are both Miami Dolphin fans. So
yeah,
my brother's a huge Pittsburgh fan though, so I tried to get him to come on and talk to you. But he does have a couple questions he wants me to ask. So when we get to that point, just more opinion questions.
Gotcha. Yep.
So how once I want to go back to the story you were just telling. So once you told them, like, it's not just this year, it's been so long, I assume that was the original message that they got across to you was either a letter or an email, right?
Yeah, so they just emailed me and said, hey, come down to the field. You have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. We're gonna draw names, 1 through 12. I didn't get it, but that's when they did the interview. So they called me back and said, hey, will you come in?
Who called you?
My wife and I went. The Steelers.
No, but who? Like, which? Was it just like an HR department? Was it?
Yeah, it's through the Steeler Nation Unite. So it's basically their fan division of the Steelers. So they run everything through that, basically.
Okay.
So the PR people called me and said, hey, can you guys come in? And and I don't have man, I have so much Steelers stuff, but it's not like I have a designated man cave because I'm there,
Yeah.
And so they said, hey, come in, you'll sit in your seats, do an interview, and then we'll air that and put it on the Steelers Facebook and, social media and everything like that. So I did the interview, told the long version of the story about, me selling everything and being there for all the years. And that was posted on Facebook, and that's how Ford found me. They literally just ran into it and said, hey, we got to get this guy in here. And I'm thinking it's a scam or something like that. I'm like, wait, I'm nobody. I'm just some guy that goes to all the games. But it was the story part and the streak. So, like I said, those other two guys, man, they're wild. Outfits and helmets and paint and all that. And there's a lot of Steelers fans like that too. But that's not me. I'm there, and they said, hey, you're the loyal. Do
you get recognized when you go to the games by other fans as you should?
I don't know what's going to happen now. I'm a nobody before this, so I don't know what's going to happen at this point. Everybody around my seats, they know.
Just remember, Rick, we were there in the beginning. That's all you need to know.
Exactly. So I'm hoping something good, comes out of it at least, but. And we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited for this year for sure.
When Ford got in touch with you, how did they do that? They called you. Was it like a knock on the door, like the NFL Hall of Fame, or?
No, you know what? When the Steelers posted that interview on Facebook, I commented. So I was like the first comment. I said, "Hey, you know what? Thanks, Steelers and Steeler Nation Unite. Thanks for everything. Here's to 18 more years. Whatever. Blah blah blah." So I was that first comment on there. And a woman from Ford, their marketing team, Facebook messaged me through it. And that's what I thought was, I'm like, this isn't real. What is it? She's like, hey, we want to do an interview with you. Is that okay? I'm like,
jackpot.
I don't know. Yeah. No, so I blew it off. I totally blew it off. And, and next day she's like, hey, I need an answer like today. And I said, all right, and sure, why not? She's like, we have the film crew coming into Pittsburgh on this day. It was like November 29th. So you have to be home on the 29th. I said, all right. Honestly, until they pulled in the driveway the night before, I didn't know if it was the real deal or not. I had no idea how big it was. And they had, the whole house was set up like Hollywood. And I'm like, what? I'm just doing the interview, right? It doesn't make any sense. And they said, it's Ford. They wanted to look good and expect a certain quality. And, I bought it. I'm like, I'm just telling my story again, right? And they said, yeah, no, but they want to. We have hundreds of fans across the nation. We're interviewing. I'm like, you guys are spending all kinds of money, and I'm asking the camera kid. I'm like, how much does one of these cameras cost? It's cost more than my house. So I just couldn't put it together, and until that next morning when we're halfway through the interview and there's a knock at the door, and they said, hey, it's for you. And that's my real reaction in that video, man. I had no idea. And I opened it up, and there's Terry. So, in my house, I lost my mind, man.
That's awesome. So
Speaking of Terry, go ahead, Ronnie. Start, but.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. You could go.
No, I was going to ask you, obviously you've been there for 18 years, but you did meet Terry Bradshaw. I'm sure he holds a special place in your heart as a fan.
Oh man, as a kid, growing up seeing, I just turned 40, so I'm young for remembering him, but you've watched him on TV your whole life, I've watched every 70s Steeler game there was on, so yeah, it was special.
Picking Roethlisberger or Bradshaw if you had to pick one.
To come to my house or
No, on your football team.
Who do I want to hang out with?
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, hang out. I think that's obvious.
To hang out, obviously, No, like I said, if there's one Steeler to ever live that I would love to hang out at my house with, it would be Terry. I mean, he was number one pick. But on a football team, I've seen every game Ben's ever played in, and he's just so unbelievable at times. And it's a different era, and I don't know if I could choose on that. I mean, but Terry ran the show, and I don't think he really gets enough credit, even though, 4 Super Bowls, you get a lot of credit. But, man, Cannon calling those plays, I mean, it's a whole different era. I don't know how you just can't compare,
Well, at least you're not picking like O'Donnell or Cordell Stewart or Tommy Maddox, somebody like that.
Bubby. I always loved Bubby when I was a kid, Bubby, Mark Malone, and Bubby. And, but, I mean, Terry's throwing 350 passes a year, and Ben was, 600 and something? So, I mean, double the amount of passing, too. So, you got to look at that kind of thing. Yeah. But, tough call.
My question
goes for us, too, with Marino. Marino plays nowadays. Forget it. Numbers
crazy.
He put up back then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all love Marino up here too. Pitt guy.
Yeah.
So we love Marino, and I mean, I just love watching all those guys. But that blew me away for sure.
When they do the induction, is it the same day and the same at the NFL Hall of Fame induction, or is it a different event?
It's during that week. I have no idea. It's kind of up in the air. They said they're kind of going to go dark for a few months and then get the plan finalized because they're building that whole new complex there. And we're not quite sure where they're going to put us. If there's going to be, some sort of likeness, they said, of us in the Hall of Fame. Wow. We get jackets and everything. So
I was just going to ask you that. Do you get a jacket? Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. The rumor is it's going to be Ford blue. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, I get that. Gold jackets for the players and everything.
Gold jacket, green jacket.
Jacket, you're right. Exactly.
I see a nice space on the wall behind you for it. You take rid of those 2 pictures on your left shoulder. Right there.
Yeah. Kid, take the kids down. I got Terry on the wall here.
Exactly. That is awesome.
That's why I said I want a ring. You can wear that everywhere. I mean, wearing the jacket,
That's Pittsburgh. You'll need it half the year at least, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you take a picture, whatever likeness that they're gonna have of you, and you take a picture next to yourself. I think that's it. That would do it for me. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it. Still, it just doesn't make sense.
Congratulations. I haven't said that.
Thanks.
No. Yeah,
I appreciate it. I can't believe all these people reaching out to me. And like I said, I'm just nobody, man. I'm the under the radar guy that there's so many wild and crazy Pittsburgh fans, and I get it. But, it's the story and the streak, and it's turned into something huge. So hopefully, bigger things are on the way.
It's not always about how loud you are. It's about the dedication. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
We call this "We the Fans" for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And it's not just about screaming and yelling and wearing colors, and it's about support and it's a competitive thing, and that's what makes it great.
Pittsburgh's fans in general are classy. When I went to that playoff game a couple years ago, I mean, people were shaking my hand like, "Hey, nice season." If I go to a Jets game in a preseason game, I'm getting beer thrown on me.
Really? They're rough.
It's night and day different, man.
I've never had any issues with any other fans, really. I mean, everybody's pretty cool, at least. And, I mean, only a handful of times over all these years I've ever seen it get ugly. But, I'm pretty even keel.
There have been Steeler fans, a good amount of Steeler fans at every Dolphin-Jet game I've been to. They're always there.
Everywhere.
Yeah. They're always there. They're usually rooting for the Dolphins because they usually don't like the Jets, so that helps. It helps with the home field advantage.
I mean, everywhere you go, I mean, every city there's a Steeler bar, restaurant. I mean, there's. Yeah. I mean, our wardrobes are all black and gold everywhere you go. Hey, Steelers! Everywhere I go in the country, it's like that.
100%. One of the best traveling fans in the world, Steeler fans.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into what has been the past 48 hours of craziness in the NFL.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet in Steeler Nation, huh?
Not too much going on. They've been the center of it all, basically, besides Odell Beckham, and nobody saw that coming.
No.
I gotta ask, Antonio Brown. Let's start there. How do you feel about the whole situation, the way it all played out?
I mean, to be honest, number one, look, unbelievable player, but I'm glad he's out of there. I mean, listen, here's my thing. As an even keel kind of guy, I don't try to, get wrapped up in the personal stuff, and because the more you know about him on a personal level, sometimes it turns you off. So I try to stay away from that. But I mean, obviously, I'm on social media and I look at that stuff all day. But we haven't won anything with him.
But
it's been 10 years.
Just touching on what you just said, now I have a question for you. I'm with you. I don't care about the personal stuff. You're a good talent on the field as long as you're not a bad person. Like, you don't do bad things. You're not killing anybody. You're not raping
Don't be a criminal. Just be a good human. Right.
And I don't care what else you do. It doesn't matter. But they say a big part of the reason why this happened in the first place is because of Ben Roethlisberger's attitude. So what do you think about that?
I mean, honestly, I'm not there. I don't know if I buy that. You have so many players. Off the record, I was asking Jerome about it, and he said, a little bit of both, but it's one of those things. The quarterback's always going to be the leader, no matter what. He's always going to win, and receivers come and go, and.
But your GM made it a lot worse. You know where I'm going with the 52 kids comment. That's a pretty disrespectful thing to say.
Yeah, I think everybody took that a little too far. It just meaning he's the old man of the team, and I get it. I totally get it.
If my boss called me a kid compared to if the owner of my company called me a kid compared to my boss, I would have a real problem with that.
Right. I just think because now, we're at that point, they're so much older. You got Juju, he's 21, 22, and Ben's 37, and Colbert's, what's he in his late 50s, early 60s, something like that. I mean, I think they just, not meaning disrespectful, just
I think you just got to be smarter than that in that situation.
Yeah.
You just got to
be too many alphas, too many alpha personalities.
For sure. You gotta have. And I'm not making excuses because the whole thing's a circus, and I that's just embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
Because I just want them to win. I don't want any of this nonsense and this drama, and because people look at it and it makes all of us look bad. Everywhere you go.
I mean, you
guys will be just fine.
What?
You got Connor. Juju's a top receiver in the league. So,
Juju's a number one.
Yeah. I mean, they seem like good character guys too, and I mean. History, guys like that, they tear a locker room apart with Le'Veon and AB. I mean, you're not going to win with them. We're winning Super Bowls with Cedric Wilson and Nate Washington and, receivers like that. So
guys that
we didn't win jack squat with them. So, see ya.
No, that's a great point. So now, being left with what you have in Juju, and I'm a big Juju fan, I think Juju's a number one on any team in the league. It doesn't matter where he goes. But James Conner's a little questionable, I think, in my opinion. So, do you think that he's the answer right now, and maybe not in the future, but right now at running back, or do you think maybe they need to start making a move?
I mean, I think right now, he's pretty talented. I mean, some of those moves, and he's patient too. Maybe not as much as Le'Veon, but he's patient. He makes that move, hits the hole, and, man, he puts his head down and goes. He's not avoiding any contact at all. And I think he's tough. But, once
he proved himself last year.
Yeah, I think so.
He's a starter.
He's solid. I agree. I loved what I saw.
Coming off of cancer.
Yeah, man, it's an unbelievable story.
Yeah,
unbelievable story, really. Inspirational, So everybody's rooting for him for sure.
Mike, you got one of your brother's questions you want to ask?
Well, one of them was the Roethlisberger, Terry Bradshaw, so it kind of led into that one when he was in your house. Second is, who do you think is going to have a better statistical season, Brown or Juju?
Ooh, you got Mr. Carr out there throwing you the ball, and at times he looked pretty ugly. So, is it one of those things?
Don't tell Boomer that, Ronnie. Don't tell Boomer that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They just got rid of Jordy Nelson, so who else are they going to throw the ball to?
Yeah, that's true.
I think Juju has the better year, in my opinion.
I think so. I don't think AB's going to have 15 touchdowns again.
Not
I don't see that happening.
Those days are long gone. Those days are long gone.
But here's the other thing: does he really care?
I don't.
Does
think so.
Money number one, stats number two, but are you going to see the stats again? I mean, I get it. Ben has his flaws, but man, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
How long till he starts throwing Carr under the bus for not hitting him in the right spot on the pass? It's not going to take too long.
I mean, and that's what all the Pittsburgh media guys are saying. They're like, it's the ticking time bomb, It's.
And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but I'm pretty sure he has never been on a losing team while in Pittsburgh, and he just went to one that's going to definitely have a losing record this year.
Right, they were 4-12 last year, and I mean, how many more games do you see them winning? I mean, they should win a couple more games, but
6 wins. Ooh,
I mean, I don't even know about that. Their running back is still Doug Martin. I keep saying this, and no one.
They're dime a dozen. Running backs come. You get one in the draft.
Yeah, and like I said, you're winning Super Bowls with we won with Gary Russell and Super Bowl 43, and that's why I look at it. It's just that plug and play player, and you got to have a great defense and a great quarterback, and if you don't, you're cooked, and that's kind of how I see it. But yeah, Juju Connor, I'm excited about it. But out in L.A. or Oakland, I would be shocked if they go 500.
What do you think about? I'm sure you're obviously pissed off at him and whatever, and you don't care also. But Le'Veon Bell, obviously, we got to talk about that too.
Bell. I mean, it turns out, you're crunching the numbers from what I'm seeing today. He was better off taking the 5-year deal
big
from
loss.
us.
Yeah. He looks real silly right now.
I mean, plus the 14.5 you lost last year just by sitting. I don't get it. I mean, you gamble. I guess he's expecting 20 a year. The gamble didn't pay off. I mean, I'd look at that as a loss for him. I mean, no one will. He won't say that, but
no. And he was trying really hard to make a point, and it did not work. And he tried to turn the NFL into the NBA, and and it didn't happen. And it's never going to happen.
No, it didn't happen. I think it made a lot of the owners say, like, look, we're not going to do this. And maybe the Jets were one of the only offers out there. I mean, who knows? But same with AB. I mean, how many offers did you get?
Yeah. But you might be right about that, because it actually came out that Baltimore was actually never even in the mix for him.
Yep.
I read that actually late last night. It said that Baltimore actually was never even offering him anything.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to go there. I actually said that the other day when the rumor was that he was going there. And I said he would want to play with Lamar Jackson, and he would want to play Pitt twice a year.
Right. I said the same thing. I'm like, man, he's going to kill us twice a year now,
Yeah.
But we'll see. Actually, I think we play the Jets, and it might be at home.
You actually. Got it? Oh, nice. That'll be a good one.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Listen,
right.
One question about the restrooms.
Say that again, Mike?
What's up with the freaking giant bathtub for the urinal? I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It must have been 30 feet long, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll just whip it out here. And
what is it, a trough?
That's when you line up, man. We call it the pisser trough. You just got just don't cross the streams. I saw a guy drop his terrible towel. He went in after it. Everybody's screaming no. But
you leave that thing alone, man.
I don't know if I could do it. I might have some stage fright, but that's a conversation for a different podcast. That ain't
like a giant slop sink, Ronnie, but just fucking 30, 40 feet long.
Yeah, it's just a water fountain all going down one side. It's just big, Yeah.
I don't know about that. Have you been to any other stadiums? I mean, obviously it's some dedication going to Heinz Field forever. But
Cleveland, Cincinnati, Buffalo. I went to the first game after September 11th. They canceled that first week. And the very next week, when they set the games back up again, they skipped week 2, I want to say. So they added week 2 to the end of the season that year, if you remember that, 2001. So we went, the Steelers played at the Bills, and that was the first game after September 11th. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it was something like nothing you've ever seen. You want to talk about fans being together? That was the game.
That and the Mike Piazza home run.
Yeah,
against my Braves, that hurt, but I was happy.
My mother and my stepfather actually went to the first Yankee game after that.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Which was
I started liking the Yankees because of it, honestly. My Pirates stunk for so long. Like, I mean, the whole
Rick, you just hurt my heart, Rick. You hurt my heart with that one.
But to me, it's like Yankees and Mets. You got like the soft spot for them, and I'm not saying, fan either way. If the Pirates are playing them, my Pirates stink. But
Rick,
I do hate the Braves. I will say that.
You're a Yankee fan. It's fine.
Ripped my heart out.
Be proud.
Ripped my heart out.
The Yankees ripped my heart out. That's why I hate them. So screw them.
You're good, man. Wear those pinstripes.
Again, I don't know how we moved to baseball. I'm sorry.
Don't worry
Yeah.
See you later. That's good news. That's really good news. Mike, you got anything else?
What's that? I'm sorry.
What you got?
No, I mean, I just can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future. I don't know. They kind of left us hanging a little bit, and we'll see. I have a couple big things coming up. I'm going to the Mel Blount celebrity roast in April. So when we were at the Hall of Fame luncheon, Mrs. Blount and Mel came running over, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to come to our event." And I'm like, "Oh, this is nuts!" You're the greatest cornerback ever. And they want me to come to their thing.
Nah, I'm good.
So I'm like,
ride that wave as long as you can, man.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna live it up for that, and
awesome.
I can send you guys some pics or something like that.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Cool.
And
We'll
that and what else?
I have one question.
Listen, I got a question. Are you making your kids Pittsburgh fans?
Oh, they're nuts.
Is it like mandatory, or are you get them? Yeah.
My kid. So my daughter, she's going to be 9 in May. My son just turned 7, and then I have a soon-to-be 3-year-old, Julia.
Nice.
So my son, we're watching. Steelers were away, and we're watching whatever Patriots are on there. So he sees that Patriot logo. He walks in, he just points at the TV. He's like, stinking cheaters, and he turns around and walks out.
Love
That's my guy.
Love him.
I got 6 years old, and I'm like, oh,
Smart
what have
kid.
I done?
Smart kid.
Yeah.
That's an American right there, baby.
So
I brought him back the Rams and the Patriot towels from the Super Bowl down there, and he hung the Rams one up, and he took the Patriot one. And he just threw it on the floor. And was like, we'll deal with that later.
That's awesome.
You have a brilliant kid.
I have one
him a little
question
bit
for you. Or let's go 2 questions because I just thought of another one. My first question, because there's a question that I have to ask you before we end the show. It's really important. But my first question is, favorite Steeler memory, being that you've been at every game?
Favorite memory at Heinz Field has to be, number one's got to be the Troy interception in the 2008 championship game against the Ravens. So where, pick 6 to basically win the game. I've never heard it like that. The place was going bonkers because, there was probably, I want to say 4 something minutes left. And Baltimore, if they drove down there and scored, they might have ran it out and won. But, that pick 6 to go to the Super Bowl, that's got to be number one. Number 2, the Bettis game against the Bears where he's trucking over Urlacher. That's iconic.
Yeah.
That was just
that was awesome. I remember
the snow and the mud and that was a beautiful game to see.
Who's your favorite Steeler? It's Terry.
All time probably.
So,
current.
How about current player?
Yeah, current. And like I say, you got to go. Ben's been there. Like I said, I got a Ben jersey. I don't really buy too many player jerseys because of that, AB and that whole stuff like that. So
yeah,
I wear my Ben but
I always liked the Steelers. I always had a when I was younger. I always had a soft spot for Hines Ward.
I love Hines Ward. Yeah,
tough player, tough guy. I loved his play style. Randall, I love that team. Honestly, that team was
that whole team, and and we went to that Super Bowl in Tampa. And lucked out, we were right in front of where Santonio caught the winner. So, that obviously that's the number one memory, but at Heinz Field,
All right, last question to end the show, and it's really, really, really important. Mike knows what it is already.
Listen, Rick, I need you on this one, buddy. All
Rick,
right?
I'm not telling you how either of us feels, but we disagree. Is Adam Thielen a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL?
Oh.
Statistically.
Can you name 10 receivers better than Adam Thielen is a better question.
Can I name 10? If I thought
Not
really
right
hard,
this second, but yeah.
I think I could. Statistically, he's up there, though. I mean, so how?
Fourth in receptions last year. He's like seventh in yards. The past
Fantasy
2 seasons,
stud.
his drop rate is one of the best in the NFL.
On a team last year that didn't start running the ball until week 8. I don't want to hear it.
It's irrelevant. Rick, I'm on the side of Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen is statistically a top 5 wide receiver. I will be drafting him.
And I would
draft him in the top 5 of a wide receiver in my fantasy draft coming up. Definitely top 10. That's no question in my eyes.
And I think if I'm starting a football team, I take Stephon Diggs before I take Adam Thielen. But that was the important question. We're not going to go back to what we did the other day. That's not what this is about. This one was about you, Rick, and thank you for coming. Yeah. Keep in contact. Send us pictures. Yeah. Like I want to take the journey with you. I have to live this vicariously through you, Rick.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's not just about me and the Steelers. It's like representing fans, and you know what I mean. I don't hate other other than the Patriots. I don't hate other teams, and you know what I mean. That's the only one that brings out the the rage. But it's about going through with everybody else, and I'm just lucky to be that representative. So awesome. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. Plug your Instagram if you want to.
Anything you want to plug, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram, Rick_Holman79, and then, obviously Twitter, at @RHolman2,
cool.
to Roman numerals. So,
and you guys know
that's it.
Everybody knows where you can follow us, at We The Fans Network, Instagram and Facebook. I'm at We The Fans Ron on Twitter. Mike is at, I pointed the wrong way. Mike is, I don't know. It's backwards sometimes.
Whoop, there it is on Twitter. Whoop went the dynamite on Instagram.
Yeah.
Rick, thank you for coming, dude. We'll keep in touch.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'll be posting all kinds of stuff as we go through the journey. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Rick, enjoy every moment, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.